Good morning. It's just a few more days till Thanksgiving. I was just telling Andy that, and he's laughing at me. I was telling him, I'm like, well, Romeo and we're going to have, I got these like slices of turkey. Andy, I didn't get it like in a damn package or anything. These are like cut off the turkey.
Okay.
And then I got, because hell, I can't eat a whole damn turkey by myself. And Romeo probably could, but I can't. I would. And then I got like, some cranberries. Walnut, parsnips, and you asked me a while ago what parsnips. I'm like, I don't know. They just look good.
Parsnips are good.
Are they?
Yeah, there's like a root.
And then I got a few candied sweet potatoes. But I got enough to have a nice little Thanksgiving meal and
one big bucket of chocolate almonds.
Nope. No. I got to stay away from chocolate, especially as you get older.
Chocolate almonds.
Sweets like fuck with your arthritis, and it's like my hand sometimes gets tight.
Yeah, from the sugar.
Yeah, so
inflammatory. Yeah.
It is. So remember this, you youngin', and you got to stay off the sugars because sugars will fuck your life up.
Yeah.
They really will. They'll fuck your life up, know? Yeah, I got to tell you, Rob, I want you to explain, because yesterday there was some really good news, but we already knew it because we're behind the wheel, driving, right? We're driving the wheel of the precious metals bus. And silver, the demand on silver has been just off the roof, and it now is hitting record levels. And that's what we were talking about. I mean, we're seeing levels now. I think we're somewhere. What's the percentage we're at right now? I'll let you talk.
Yeah, I mean, global silver demand looks like it's going to increase by $1.2 billion. That's according to the Silver Institute, or as you were ounces. Now that's going to be a 16 to 17% increase from 2021, right? So we're looking at a lot more accumulation of silver according to the Silver Institute. Very, very high in demand. Very, very, very much used in industrial services, right? And I know Andrew. Andrew's a silver bug, and I know you.
I love silver. Yeah, I love silver. I think it's just great to have, and
I like kilo bars.
Oh,
I love my kilo bars. I just stack them up in a shoebox. They stand up.
I just want to say I had a client who's been a return client from us. He's done multiple purchases, and he recently bought some silver Britannia coins, which
beautiful coins
come from the British Mint. And this guy, he was telling me, he said, Andrew, these are beautiful coins. These are just gorgeous. And you look at them and the minting and the quality of the coin, and you see, wow. And this guy loves silver. He just thinks it's silver's like a work of art to him.
Well, you got to think about it. I mean, if there was an increase of 1.2 billion ounces in 2022, and they're expecting a 16% increase from 2021 to 2022, that's huge. That means that the demand there's a demand, right?
I'll tell you what. If the dollar hadn't been rallying so high, silver would be 4 times what it's worth right now. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
But the dollar has been keeping everything at bay. And like I said, and I've said this over and over, that once that dollar breaks down, you're going to see silver prices escalate as well as gold prices. And this is why, Rob, Andy, we're seeing these huge amounts of purchases in silver now, because exactly what's getting ready to happen. People are already taking their head out of the darkness, like we talked about last night. They're getting out of the darkness. They're seeing the light, and they're moving forward. It's obvious. Go ahead.
No, I was just going to agree with you. I mean, the thing is right now, I'm not sure if a lot of the listeners are aware of this, but there's a massive shortage right now with silver products,
That's
right?
True. We're normally we have it. I mean, we do have it. We have it in our warehouse, because we're always doing. And let me explain that to you. And Rob, so we don't have massive amounts of silver like we did a $3 million trade. We don't have that silver for that big of a trade, but we go ahead and we order that silver, of course, because we're licensed dealers, so we're able to do it. And we order it at distributor prices, and then we move it at wholesale prices. In other words, we're not charging these huge premiums. In fact, sometimes it's like, did we even clear anything on that, you know?
Mhm.
Because we want to help people in every kind of way. But here's the thing. So we do a lot of distributions for people that have like RMDs. Now, we're not the custodian. However, we assist our custodian in helping the individuals that have purchased the metals from us be able to liquidate their position should they decide they want to or they need to. And then what we do is we purchase those metals back from them, and that's why we have a buyback guarantee. And we even stated on our website, in fact, you cannot, and I'm going to repeat this, you cannot put any kind of statements on your website unless you can back it up 100% and still be accredited by the Better Business Bureau. In other words, the BBB will not let you put anything on your website like that unless you can back it up. And my friends, we back it up. So if a person needs to sell their metals, we, within 72 hours, we either have those metals liquidated and those funds sent directly to them, or if they choose to do an in-kind distribution, meaning that they want to receive the metals from their IRA, then we also can also send those metals directly from your IRA into your hands so that you have physical holdings of those metals in your hands. So that's what I wanted to share with you. This is why we have metals in our vault, like gold and silver, because we're always purchasing metals back from people, not because they're just selling them because they don't want them. They're selling them because they either need the money really bad or they have to take what we call an RMD. And speaking about an RMD is a required minimum distribution or maximum distribution. And what that means is that when you get to a certain age and you've had money in your IRA, whether it's in the stock market or whether it's in gold and silver, whatever, you have to take a distribution because Uncle Sam wants to be paid his taxes. So we assist you in making sure that you're doing everything right and that you do not get messed up with the IRS. So we make sure you're doing everything right. You want to say something?
No, I mean, I was just going to say, yeah, that, traditionally for traditional IRAs and employer-sponsored plans, when they hit the age of 72 and a half, they'll start taking their RMDs. And
Yeah.
That's a service that we provide with our custodian.
We definitely do. And not only that, what we're able to do for our clients, I mean, it's not a lot. It's like, 125 times 3. So we're able to get your fees. So people ask me all the time, well, is there a fee? How do you guys make your money? We make our money off of volume, like how much we're actually selling. And we don't charge these huge premiums like I was telling you. So we have like a fixed percentage that we make off of the metals is what we actually make. But here's the thing. What we're able to do is we're able to get your fees waived for the first 2 to 3 years. And those fees are not that expensive. You would think they're really high. But see, here's the thing. You could have $20,000 or $1 million in your retirement account, but it's still going to be only $125 a year. In other words, it's a fixed number.
Yeah, it's a nominal fee.
Yeah,
that's for depository maintenance. That's for IRS reporting for the custodian.
That's right.
It's
that's
a
right.
paperwork fee, basically.
And so for 3 years, you basically, in other words, you do not pay any commission if your account starts bringing the numbers up, right? And you exchange it for more value later on. You do not pay any commission for what your account is doing.
Yeah, it's because the custodian is a non-traditional banking entity, meaning, they don't over-leverage or borrow against
like
you
a record
to make your money.
keeper.
Yeah, they're just basically a record keeper. And what you're paying for is for them to keep the records of the account.
Right. And so, and you can get out anytime you want, unlike an annuity, like one of these insurance programs where you get involved and then you have what they call a surrender fee. Rob, you want to tell them about that? Because listen, surrender fees are dangerous, especially if you're in a variable annuity, because the variable annuity is not a fixed rate at all. It goes up and down with the market. Even if it's go ahead.
Even if it's fixed, you still run the risk of inflation, right? You got to think about it. According to the
money's worth less.
According to the Wall Street Journal, most mutual funds, most annuity funds, most pension funds are not keeping up with the pace of inflation. So in fact, you're actually losing money to inflation. But whether you're in a fixed annuity, a variable annuity, for heaven's sake, even a trapped lifetime annuity, right, to where you've actually given your control away to the insurance provider, right, based upon the contract, right? Now, with these surrender fees, you have to understand that you don't have any options. Once you trap yourself in a 5-year, 10-year, 11-year annuity, right, it's basically you locking away the keys, throwing it in the ocean, and sacrificing your retirement savings, praying that, New York Life or Prudential, whoever you have the annuity contract through, Fidelity, whomever, right, is able to stay solvent and is able to go ahead and maintain your account in the right manner, right? But, one thing I specialize in is, helping people make changes to their retirement savings plans.
You don't actually do the retirement plan. You just assist them in getting them into the retirement plan.
Correct.
Right?
Exactly.
In other words, you get them to our custodian.
We have an entire process and department.
And we have a team. We actually have a team. We have Alexis, who actually is our operations girl, who handles making sure that everything is checked on the application before.
I'm a liberator. I help people liberate themselves from the grips of Wall Street, from the socialist casino, from this insidious, unorganic, financial system, and I give them a way out, right? And that's what I do. I just, I have an expertise in doing this, right?
Yeah.
So, we have an entire team. Alexis is a great gal, sweetie pie.
You don't sound like no Indian to me today.
hey, Chris, if you're watching, I'm here for you, brother.
He says that India man.
I don't know why he thinks I'm Indian. I guess I look it. Who cares? But hey, if you're watching, Chris, we think it's hilarious.
You watch The Simpsons?
We do.
Maybe back when I was younger.
We do have a number of Indian clients.
A lot of Indian, because they love gold.
Of course, in India, gold is. I had a client who's purchasing gold for a wedding gift.
Oh, that's right.
Gold is a huge it's a huge gift that people give for a wedding. It's like the standard wedding gift is to give gold.
Yeah, I think it's like tradition.
Yeah, it's tradition. Yeah.
They also are tradition of riding in on elephants.
And gold I don't know where that came from, but
they do. They ride in on elephants.
But gold in China now is exploding. All people who are newly entering the middle class in China are buying gold. It's like a symbol that that you've been rising up to the middle class. So you're seeing, you have over 1 billion people in China. You have over 1 billion people in India.
Hey,
these are the BRIC countries, we've been talking about, where they're going to have a currency that's going to have some portion of it backed by gold.
Yeah.
Okay, so look at these massive populations and see where their focus is, and that should tell you something about what's the future of gold. And it looks,
it's looking really good. It isn't even looking. It is good. It is good. I started buying gold when it was a little over $300 an ounce, and look where it's at today. Everything has been going great. Listen, every time you say that word billion, it's like, I want to be a billionaire, but I'm thinking Sam the Scam Bank Man, whatever his name is, I don't know if y'all knew this, but I'm beginning to see the whole picture here. And to me, you're right. It's looking like a psyop. Like it really is. And let me tell you why. So it's interesting because U.S. prosecutors actually opened a probe of FTX months before its collapse. Remember we talked about how Madoff made off with all that money too and then died in prison, right? Well, it's interesting because the timing when they did Madoff was kind of odd as well, because Madoff was on the stock exchange board, a member of the stock exchange board. He was doing all this stuff, and yet he was running a Ponzi scheme just like Sam the Scam Poodle-haired man. He did the same thing, only more money. and in a different type of, instead of stocks, bonds, mutual funds, which is again just debt. All it is using debt. This is what Sam the Scam, the Poodle Man, did. He actually used fake tokens.
Yeah, I mean, if you look and see how he was connected with all of these major, I mean, how does a young guy get connected with such big, powerful people? The whole thing really is really starting to look like a government operation. If you look at the people he was connected to, where his money was going, how much of it was going to far left Democrat politicians, far left causes.
But also, there was also
yeah, some rhino types were receiving money also. He was basically trying to buy everybody and then funneling the money through the whole Ukraine thing.
Well, not only that, he also made up this autism thing. He literally exploited the effectiveness of autism to get rich and to con the world. I can remember. Listen, I remember this woman that I got introduced to years ago. We're talking maybe 20-something years ago, and she was dying, and everybody felt bad for her. She was involved in this thing that I got involved in, right? And so all of a sudden, and I used to do like hard money loans is what I did, and I would get like letters of credit for people that needed the money, and we'd finance big projects. Well, she came in.
So you were a loan shark.
No, I was a hard money lender.
Oh, is that the nice way?
Yeah, it's a hard. I lent money, but
it was soft money.
Well, it was risky projects. So
okay.
you know, if you're going to put $1.5 million or $10 million or $20 million in a letter of credit, and you're kind of like the middleman that is involved with the banks that are issuing these letter of credits, you know, you're a hard money lender. Okay. So anyway, hard means risk.
High risk.
Yeah, high risk.
Like junk.
Well, anyway, this woman. No, these were letters of credit that were backed by actual assets, right? And then the letter of credit was actually issued to that client on behalf of their project, but they had to have business plans. They had everything, right? So basically, it was a lender that was lending a letter of credit instead of having to lend money, and so it was a letter of credit that was issued against their asset. Okay. And that letter of credit had to be returned to the bank. Anyway, let's get away from that for a minute. So I did that, and this lady came in, and she was dying, and she had, you know, cancer, and it was just everybody started. So we all started sending her money, feeling bad for her and everything. Turns out that she was a liar. Remember, I also used to have a company that went after crooks, right? So I did that. I went out.
Did you send Romeo after them?
No, Romeo wasn't around then. Romeo wasn't even born then. But anyway, so you know, these people, they'll do anything to get money. But my whole thing about this Sam the Scam Bank Man, Poodlehead Man, is that they knew about it. They knew about it months before, and they waited till after the midterms to make this happen. And now it's kind of like up in the air. If the prosecutors were actually already investigating this months before, then why is he not been picked up yet?
You know, what I've realized is that, you know, the media is going to create these puff pieces about Caroline Ellison and about Sam Bankman fraudster. And they're going to come out saying that prosecutors or the SEC or the CTFC was already on to what Sam Bankman fraudster was already doing, because they're going to try to cover it up. Nothing is going to happen to these people. Nothing's going to happen to Gary Gensler from the SEC, who allegedly was a part of Alameda Research.
He should step down immediately,
or whatever he was a part of. So,
in my eyes,
I think honestly, we should stop giving this guy the recognition, the clout, because the reality is that he's a fraudster. Apparently, allegedly, he was not high functioning autistic, which
it was a con.
It was a con. And
I'll tell you
he
what,
can go kick rocks and suck on big balls.
I'll tell you what.
Well, no, I mean, just to your point, Rob. the fact that he is so deeply connected with so many powerful people who are involved. We don't even know who the creditors are, right? Who it's undisclosed who the creditors are who are owed. I think there's a top 10 creditors are owed hundreds of millions of dollars. So that means
I heard it's billions.
No, but particular VCs and particular
venture
investors
capital.
are on the hook for hundreds of millions of dollars.
Yeah, you know who
And-
those investors are.
and it's a no. It's
Why?
it's because they don't want you to know
The ones that actually set the whole scam up.
they don't want to be involved and see how their reputation's ruined.
Or they're the ones that set him up.
That they fell for this and they were involved in
I don't
this.
think anybody fell for it.
But the thing is, he's connected with so many powerful people,
Yeah.
and you're not like the Hunter Biden laptop.
I was just going to get.
Which
Listen,
even hold on, which even CBS News now recognizes is
769 days later.
yeah is legitimate. The FBI's had it for 3 years and they haven't done anything. So talk about corruption. Talk about being in bed with powerful people. I seriously doubt anything's going to happen to scam, bankrupt, fraud,
Whatever the fuck they did.
yeah,
whatever you want to call them.
Speaking of fraud and scams and Hunter Biden, the president's son. It's interesting. I hear this every day, and 769 days later, and everything in there compromises the Biden family with these other countries. And everything that is happening in this country right now with China, Russia, Ukraine, if you really look into that laptop, it's there. It's all there.
Yeah.
Burisma, all of that stuff is all in there. And on top of that, the federal or the FBI allegedly went in and literally was threatening this guy if he did anything. I can't wait. The book's out, right? Isn't there a book?
Oh, the computer guy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it on Amazon? I wanna
This
get it.
computer guy's incredible. Mac something. It's funny his name has Mac in it. He's a computer guy. But the guy, he tells the story of how the FBI tried to intimidate him, tried to shut him up, and did everything they could to prevent him, from coming out and telling the truth. So there's a major conspiracy of the FBI to shut this down, to not bring it out, and they just look so effing ridiculous.
Yeah, but I think
look
it's
at these guys.
now that it's
supposed
out.
to be a law enforcement agency, and this is what they're doing. It just erodes any kind of trust that they're legitimate and they're real and they're fair players.
Well, now that it's out in mainstream news, I think there's going to be a lot more. And now that you've got the Republicans that have taken the House, I think we're going to see and hear more and more about this fiasco.
Bring it on, Jim Jordan.
I have another fiasco. Speaking of Biden, so when Biden was running for president, he made a promise to the people that the Saudi prince would answer to the killing of Khashoggi, right? The journalist. He made a vow to his wife, even, that he would make it known and that he would bring it to. Well, it's interesting because the Saudis now may boost oil output as Biden backs the MBS immunity from Khashoggi. So now it's unbelievable. This Biden and his administration
Biden
are the most unbelievable, right in your face, chocolate chip ice cream, talking turkey motherfuckers.
Biden.
I didn't mean to say
Biden
that.
has no position.
I take back the MF. But they make me so mad because we, the people, are suffering through everything that they, the government, are doing to us right now. Yeah. And listen, folks, you think your gas prices are a little lower right now. Well, they are, because he drained the strategic reserves. Again, he took oil out of the strategic reserves. But guess what? It's got to be put back in because we're so low right now. And from what I'm hearing, the outputs are years away. I don't know if he can even get it back in there. In the meantime, you have him letting more people across the border because anything that President Trump did that was good has become now bad. He's making it all go away. And not only that, he and his administration and his friend Powell, Jerome Powell, who literally was put in there by President Trump, is now got inflation at numbers that we haven't seen in 40 years. And all of this is happening right now. And wait, guess what? When oil goes back up to $120 a barrel, because that's what they're projecting it at, unless this Kawasaki comes in and bails out Biden, because Biden got down on his knees and sucked his you know what, then you got the oil running again. Maybe that's what it took. Maybe it took a little prostitution to get the oil back, Andy, Rob. Maybe that's what it takes, a little prostitution from our president. Please give me, we let you go. No immunity, he'll give you immunity. What the heck's immunity? He was never going to get in trouble with that anyway. Right? So anyway, that I just had to say that. Listen, and and people don't realize, again, I want to keep talking about this because I've been waiting to hear this, even on Tucker and on Hannity, and I've been Laura Lingard. I'm waiting for somebody to talk about this, and I didn't hear it last night about the railroad strike.
Right.
I don't hear it. People don't realize how big this is. Think about this. If you were and I think I've covered this before, but if you were the president of the Teamsters Union, of whatever sector it is, and you knew that you could dig your heels in because you knew that you could cripple the economy, and you knew you could get your team members, your Teamster members, your union members, what they want by just sticking to what you're saying, you're going to do it. Now, keep in mind, the vote is on the 8th. Well, the 8th day of December is on a Friday. Imagine that. So Friday. So for sure it's going to happen. I have this funny thing. I don't think Biden's going to be able to come in, and I don't think, because the government can't give it to him. They can't give it to him. He can threaten them. It's on the weekend. So Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, they go back. It'll be all working over the weekends. I've seen it before growing up as a kid. I've seen the strikes and all this as well. And so they'll negotiate over the weekend. Monday, they'll probably look at signing something, and they'll hold out till Tuesday. Well, $2 billion a day is what we're looking at as an economic cost for the economy to shut down. $2 billion, $4 billion, $6 billion. Let's say it's $8 billion. $8 billion. With inflation, the numbers where they're at right now, not only that, they're going to shut down the Amtrak trains. Anything to do with locomotives like trains, tracks, railroads, all that's done for those few days. So I have me personally, I think it's going to happen. I think we'll see it on December the 8th. There will not be a decision yet. They'll make it go through the weekend, put pressure on the economy. And come on, you'd do it. If you were the president of a union and you wanted your members to have what it is that they want and everybody's fine and it's over the weekend, you do it. You do it. So I think it's going to happen. I'll tell you something else that's happening right now. According to Amazon, Alexa is a colossal failure. Have you heard about this?
I'm not.
It's on pace to lose $10 billion this year. $10 billion! I never used that bitch anyway.
Oh my God.
I'd be afraid to control my home.
I had one and we unplugged it. We've had it unplugged.
I really don't get why people. I remember I was talking to my niece who uses Alexa. I'm like, don't you know that everything you say is being recorded? Doesn't that bother you? And she
Not only recorded, they know where you're sitting in
I
your
know.
living room.
No, I know. It's like I asked her
like-
that, and she was like, "Doesn't that bother you?" And she was like, "No, I don't care."
Yeah, that's because of hey, listen.
That's the mentality. Oh, I don't care. Oh, inflation. Oh, I don't care.
Right.
Oh, bank crises. I don't care.
Still, it's used against you.
Yeah, that's
Information's used against you.
that's the military. That's the military government programming. That's the destruction of the human psyche, right? That's like, they're creating, and I mean, no disrespect to your niece, but they're creating zombies. It's a zombie world out there.
Speaking of zombies, and I don't mean to say this in this kind of way, but my God, what they're doing to our kids right now. Rob, you showed me this morning. I couldn't believe a bondage teddy bear, child porn. This is a, and I wondered because Kanye West, listen to this, y'all. Kanye West is now giving away and selling his whole line of those kind of clothes. How do you say the name? Balenciaga. That.
Is he a designer for them?
No, he actually. Well, he got Kim Kardashian involved with it, but you can look at her; she's fake all the way up to her head. That girl's fake. Everything about her is plastic. I bet you could stretch her. She's like a plastic toy. But anyway, I'm not kidding.
You're saying there's some things about Kim Kardashian that are not 100% natural?
Nothing is natural on that girl.
In
fact, she keeps
That's
going.
a very strong statement to make, my friend.
I don't make. Come on, just look at her. Her abs are stretched. Everything on that wood.
Rob loves Kim Kardashian.
Yeah. Anyway, long. Yeah, he's not a basketball player. He's got the right color. He's got the right color. He can pass. Yeah. Hey, and she might like you. But anyway, and she's single.
I don't know.
No, she's single. Anyway, what is this about this ad campaign that is going on with children and child porn? Yeah, we can't show that. I can't show that. That I'm not going to put on because that's just not right. But this company, I don't know if these people, I was talking about, Andy, Rob, I was talking about yesterday how darkness, black, put you in a room. Well, that clothing line is all dark. It's evil. Yeah. And Rob, tell them about what is this clothing line doing? It's literally coming out with a children's clothing line that has to do with child porn and bondage.
Yeah, the brand Balenciaga just did a interesting photo shoot to where their new products recently include purposely poorly placed hidden court documents, right, about virtual child porn. So basically, in the campaign, I guess photos, right? It's they have to at least be maybe 3, 4, 5 years old, between that age, holding these like bears, like bear bags, but the bears themselves are wearing bondage stuff, like if you could imagine, like, what people wear while they're conducting bondage, right? That's what the bears are dressed like, and like there's like paper court documents scattered around, and like if you read into the court documents, it's about child porn, right?
Court documents scattered around.
Like okay, so the kids are on beds, right?
Oh, in the photo.
So the kids are standing on beds. On beds, there's toys on the bed. Let me finish.
Jeez,
there's
my
toys
stomach
on the bed,
is hurting
right?
over there.
They're holding the little, like they're by the bed railing, and they're holding the bears, wearing the bondage stuff, right? Toys on the bed, kids on the bed, right? Porn, fucking a kid.
Well, what's your language on that?
Excuse me, pedophilia, right?
Yeah.
And like the other photos associated with the photo shoot are scattered court documents, like on a dresser. And if you look and zoom in, they talk about a child pornography case. Like, wow. Extremely radical.
My head couldn't even take that. That's just too much. Our children are getting. Oh my gosh, that's terrible.
It seems like that's part of this whole, the thing with the drag queen story hour. This whole part of this whole
They're grooming these kids.
sick grooming to get kids. You know, it's like they can't stop. Like this is the demonic quality of the left, is that they just have to take things further and further. They have to break one taboo after another, or they don't feel alive. It's like they have to keep feeding this need to break every taboo, to go as far as they can. And
But why didn't they do this, Andy? Why didn't they do this when we were kids like that? We didn't get.
no,
this.
they did. They started.
I didn't see nothing like this.
This started in the
I was reading Humpty Dumpty sat on the wall.
This started in the '60s, and look at
I was born in the '60s, and I never saw this satanic
this started
stuff.
in the '60s, of destruction of all
Really?
of all values and morals of a society, breaking down. This goes back to, we keep talking about Ray Dalio's his understanding of the cycles of civilization, and we're in this civilization. They're just eroding every kind of value that they can. They feel like they have to do this because it gives them power. Ultimately, it gives them power, and it feeds their it feeds their
Sounds to me like it feeds
I
their
can't find the right
pocketbook.
word, but it feeds their mission, which is destruction.
Hey, you're getting back to Sam the Man, Scam Man, Poodle Hair Man. So you got Todd and Julie Chrisley. You know who they are? They're like
No.
these TV people. They're like the Jim and Tammy Faye of PTL Club. Only a PTL Club, collapsed. Jim went to prison for fraud.
Isn't he like some multi?
He was a multimillionaire, but now he didn't have as much money as Sam the Scam Bank Man, right? He didn't have that. But he and his wife now got sentenced yesterday. Now, on top of that, the day they got sentenced, the night before, their son, who is like 16 years old, Grayson or whatever the hell his name, he literally, and I'm thinking, I wonder if they staged it. But they showed where he wrecked his truck and he was in the hospital. So I was thinking maybe they're trying to, because they were out for quite a while, for several months before they had to go to prison to get their affairs together and everything. But it turns out not only did they get in trouble, but their accountant, the CPA, was also involved in the scam.
What did they do?
So these two have been sentenced in bank fraud and tax invasion. And Todd Chrisley received 12 years in prison and 16 months probation, while Julie Chrisley received 7 years in prison plus 16 months probation. So, I don't feel sorry for them. These people were literally scamming, just like Sam the Scam Man, Bank Man. And that's why I say, look, it took a while, but they ended up, now they're in prison. And, but here, let me tell you something. They basically stole bubble gum compared to what Sam the Scam Bank Man did.
So this guy gets 12 years for this.
The 16. She got 12 years.
She got 12. He got 16 years. The fraudster, he's gonna what he did is 100 times more of a scam.
Well, their accountant got 36 months in prison.
Yeah.
He's going to prison too. And this isn't, by the way, since it's federal, it goes to the Fed prison. And I don't know. I don't know if you get good time in Fed or if they're going to have to serve every single day. But think about it. That 16-year-old, when their mommy and daddy get out, when daddy gets out, he'll be 28. And that's exactly, I think that's what happened to Jim Baker, who, by the way, I am going to delve into Jim Baker next week. Because you talk about a scam man, Jim Baker is back at it again. And he's got a show, but instead he's playing it smarter, though. They always say when you go to prison, you come back out smarter. That's what I read. So PTL, I heard he was gay in prison, that he had to do some sucking on some guys, different things. I heard this in prison. But anyway, Jim Baker is supposedly a Christian again. And, Tammy Faye never did a year in prison, not even a day in prison. But she died, and she died a horrible death. She died of cancer, is what she died from. Well, what's interesting is that Jim Baker has another show on TV. Have you seen it?
No.
Oh, Andy, it's hysterical. And he's actually, he don't look like that no more. Yeah. Let me see that. Show that to the camera. There's Jim Baker now. You should see him. But anyway, but Tammy Faye, Andy, Tammy Faye she had this big old hair, lots of makeup. She looked like a drag queen. In fact, she'd go to the drag shows and like.
Could you try again?
What was that? I think my computer is
searching for chick with big boobs on the App Store.
What was that? What was that? That was kind of weird.
Wow, that's great.
That was weird. The computer said there's something about a woman with a big boobs. I don't know what that was. Maybe she did. But anyway, Andy, so Jim Baker found him a woman just like Tammy Faye. Big old hair, makeup, the whole bit. But see, he got smarter, and I'm going to do some investigation into Jim Baker. So Jim Baker, let me tell you what he's doing now. So Jim Baker, instead of taking money and not delivering, because remember, he made up this big amusement park and the hotel and the PTL, all that stuff. And he was hiding behind God, is what he was doing. But he was really in darkness and was working with the devil, is what he was doing. Well, now what he's doing, he's back with the devil again. And let's say that you need rations for 5 years. So he's selling items now, and you donate money, but he's giving you something in return rather than a made-up hotel and all this crap that he's doing. So he's back to his old scam again, and people are falling for this. He's probably making multi-millions of dollars of doing it.
Legit?
I know he's not legit. That guy, first of all, God gave me a gift, and that's a gift of discernment. And I can see right through that scammer. That's why I see him just dying a horrible death now. Because what he's doing is he's literally taking hard people's money, and in return, he's giving them a gift.
What is he getting?
A gift.
I don't get it.
Yeah, like I've seen all kinds of things, from like candles, baskets of food, and rations of all kind of stuff. Like that's what he's doing.
How much money is it?
We're gonna investigate this. Let's start looking into scam man Jim Baker, because I got to tell you,
I believe in innocent until proven guilty, and Jim has the right to.
You don't even know Jim.
He has the right to create a business.
He has the right to remain silent. Anything he says can and will be used against him in the court of law.
I don't know anything about what he's doing now, but I
know.
hope he's gone legit. I give people the benefit of the doubt, and this is America. We're compassionate. We give people the
let's stop for a minute. It's America. Guess what Biden tells a little kid that's in America while he is like having his little turkey break? Like talking to Tom, what's the name of the turkey? Chocolate chip, because he likes chocolate chip ice cream. Who gives a fuck, Biden? So anyway, we got.
Likes ice cream, right?
Oh yeah. Well, watch this. Well, I'm gonna cue this up and watch this. Let's see if we can get this on here. Hold on. Okay, here we go. Let me see if I can get it on here. Well, I got to show you this. So. This is Biden. Let me get back to it here a minute. So Biden is literally telling this little kid, hey, it's okay. Watch this. Here we go. Well, I can't wait till we get into the new studio and we can have all this stuff queued up ahead of time and on the screen. This is going to be so good, so dope. Okay, here we go. Watch.
Imagine. This has to be boring for these kids to stand up here. You're allowed to do anything you want, including go steal a pumpkin if you want. Anything you want to do.
Yeah.
Folks, it's an honor for Jill and I to be here.
Yeah. Go steal a pumpkin. Hey, if you want, when you get a little older, guess what? Go rob a bank. What? You're going to start telling kids to steal things? This is not a good look for the president. Hey, kid. Go steal a pumpkin.
Since you're bored, go fuck.
Yeah, go. Since you're bored up here, well, I'd be bored watching him anyway. But I just had to show it because they're telling this little kid, hey, it's okay, go steal a pumpkin. Well, guess what? That little kid could go steal a pumpkin, and it could just be the wrong person that he's stealing from, and the guy's standing back there with the gun, and he could shoot that little kid.
Yep.
That's bad. So Biden needs to retract that and say it's not good to steal pumpkins. It's not good to steal anything.
Yeah, Biden gets those. Oh shit.
Of course, hey, you're a Democrat. You get away with everything. You have no
Is
you
that
have no
called
accountability.
stealing?
You have no accountability.
Is that called stealing?
You have no accountability.
Well,
You can have a guy there who can't even make a sentence, who has to read from cue cards. He doesn't even know what to say, and nobody in the media even pays attention to it unless you're looking at conservative media or right wing alternative media. People don't even say anything about that. But you have a guy who's literally unable to function without cards in front of him at every moment, and nobody says anything.
We got a busy day today, guys. We got to cut this off. It's been great. Listen, subscribe to our channel. It's free. Subscribe to it. I promise you it's going to get better and better. This has just been like what we've been doing now has just been like trial and error, learning. And eventually we'll be in the big studio. You'll see a big difference. We'll be having people calling in, commenting live on air, these sort of things. And look, it's not our main focus is gold and silver, yeah, but we also want to get out the news, and we have fun doing this. That's why we do it. We take time out in the morning after we've done a few trades, and we get in here and we talk to you, and we just want to show you that there's a way out, that you can help yourself, protect yourself and your savings of what you want to save.
Don't give up.
Don't give up. And call us at 800-753-8534, 800-753-8534, or even give me a call at 323-380-5400.